is Kai and Lafayette.
We're two ex-engineers who quit our jobs to pursue the path with heart.
We believe that experience is fundamental to understanding life and its concepts.
So our weekly podcast is filmed and recorded on location from various parts of the world.
It's thanks to our Patreon members like you that we're able to produce this content regularly.
We offer varying benefits based on your pledge amount, from full-length videos of the episodes to weekly streams.
So please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/thetheoryofliving.
Subscribe, leave us some feedback, and please share with your friends. And we're back again.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but we're back with Pong today. He gave us this awesome guide at the Elephant Rescue Park, which is an awesome place. We're going to talk about it later. But could you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Pong. I'm Thai, and I'm regional from the northern part of Thailand, which is we call Mae Hong Son province. And right now I'm living in Chiang Mai 13 years now, and I'm working as the tour guide in the Chiang Mai city. And the day before yesterday,
a couple days ago,
I just met both of you in our tour at the Elephant Rescue Park. Right now I'm working at the Elephant Rescue Park to help and rescue the elephant around in Thailand.
Yeah, it's a pretty wonderful thing you guys are doing specifically. I was curious, how many rescue parks are there in the area?
Let's say that in Chiang Mai before COVID-19 there are almost 100 of the elephant park, elephant sanctuary, and there are so many of them still open for helping the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of them too, they just open for a kind of a business. Let's say that most of the one that open for a business right now, they are gone because of the COVID-19. After COVID's come, there's no tourists anymore. They just close their park.
So what does that mean for the elephants in that situation? Are there people that still take care of them, or other sanctuaries that take on the elephants or purchase them?
Let's say that most of the elephant park or the owner of the elephant who really love the elephant, this is a kind of a proof that how much do you love your elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Though almost 2 years there's no income for the tourists, and this is a kind of proof that for you to show the people that you can look after your elephant.
So you're good. Just getting a little closer to you.
Yeah, you can look after your elephant with your own budget.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to find looking for maybe the extra job to pay for your elephant food, elephant medicine here.
Yeah, we talk about this often. When you have a love for something or you're passionate about something, you always find a way. It's not necessarily about the money, it's about the purpose.
You're right.
And I think that's a good example of a situation that you're in with COVID. Tourism's obviously down, but these people are very passionate and actually very caring that they're willing to go the extra mile to make sure to still give these elephants a safe place.
And especially according my experience when I'm spend my time with the elephant in the park, mostly, it make me feel, the elephant just make me feel that they are not just only animals. I feel that they're just like a person like us, and especially the love from the animals. If you look after them good, they have such a pure love. When they love someone.
How long has it been in the culture to have like elephant sanctuaries? Have they always been regarded as maybe sacred? Because example, you said a lot of them are using for logging and these other purposes. I guess when in Thailand did it shift from maybe these aren't creatures of the field, or like horses, things that you use to work, but also just kind of the spirituality and like the more
In Thailand, we are actually at the pastime. Let's say that at the pastime we start to using elephant for kind of transportation and for battle, protects our country, especially the king. The king at the pastime who are going out to make the wall.
Okay.
To make a colonize or protect their kingdom. The king are normally gonna ride a bull elephant with a very long tusk.
Wow.
So I'm sorry. So we don't know anything about elephants here. So are elephants indigenous to Thailand?
Let's say that with the elephant, yesterday was the Thai Elephant Day on the 13th March. Is the original of the Thai Elephant Day? It start from the greatest king of the Thai kingdom at the past time, whose name King Naresuan, who riding elephant and make the war and can get a conquer, or we say can win the war with his elephant. And after then we just consider as the 13 March every year as the Thai Elephant Days.
Okay.
Wow. So are all the elephants like from Thailand? Do they naturally were they migrated here at one point, or did they come from here? What's your question again? Sorry. So are elephants like native?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they are native
That's
to
what we
Thai
expected.
jungle.
I mean,
Yeah.
but we're not 100% sure.
Yeah. They're normally, let's say that most of the elephant at the pastime, there might be like the elephant, the animals in the jungle. The people just going to kind of catch them, to using them, train them and using them for transportation. I'm talking about something that's longer than 7 or 1,000 years ago.
Right.
Right now, you cannot do a kind of you cannot go and catch the wild elephant and put in your park anymore.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Right.
It's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Every domesticated elephant or the way the elephant grow with the human right now, it must be 100% domesticated elephant. I mean that those elephants have a birth certificate like a human.
Wow.
If you want to belong to that elephant, you have to pay the money, buy them from the owner.
So there's a lot of strong regulations now around that.
You're
Makes
right.
sense.
How many do we know how many wild elephants there still are?
According to information, last year we got update from the ranger who look after national park. They say that there are around 3,000 to 3,500 only in Thailand, right?
That's not a lot then, right?
Yeah, let's say that. But the member of the wild elephant in Thailand is still. It's not a lot, but it's not increasing every year. It's still stable. Let's say that around
That's not a bad
5.
thing, right?
Yeah.
This is stable. It's not
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying that they live up to 100 years as well.
Yeah.
And then what's the average lifespan? Is it similar to humans?
Oh, yeah.
maybe
Let's say
Okay.
that just same like a human. It's depend on I think it's depend on how healthy or how good of their life.
Right. Also
Uh,
maintenance, right? How
yeah.
good like your owner's taking care of
You're
them,
right. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're, I mean that most of the wild elephant out there actually can live the maximum only maybe 60 to 70, because the main reason is came from their teeth. When the elephant turn to 50 to 60, they're gonna start to losing all of the teeth, can't eat the food anymore.
It's like a human then,
Die
right?
after that.
Yeah.
But for the one grow with a human, actually, if even they lose all of their teeth, most of the owner they have a kind of the machine to grind the food for the elephant to feed
Okay.
them. That's why some domesticated one can live a little bit longer.
Right.
The longest one in Thailand, according to record, right now she already passed away from us. She can live almost 120 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Very long.
It's amazing for such a big creature too. I mean,
Do you want to talk about the elephant that you told us about?
Yeah.
your rescue park bought her
Yeah.
because she was injured, but owner wasn't able to take care of her.
Yeah.
That was a really good story, I think.
That girl, let's say that is start at the 2015. At that time, the owner of the elephant using his elephant to make money at one of the riding camp in Chiang Mai. But unfortunately, that elephant, when she working around the park, she got an accident by step on sharp metal, and her legs got an infection. And later on, the owner just brought her to our park, asking for help, asking for the medicine to do the treatment for this elephant. And at the beginning, we tried to help this elephant with our team, our veterinarian team in the rescue park, but finally we can't help her, and we decided to bring her to the elephant hospital. After we brought her to the elephant hospital, all of the veterinarians are working very hard. Her back leg on the right side was broke. If it happened with the wild elephant, I can say that it take not longer than a week, elephant can die. But this elephant, even she have a broken leg, but she can live more than 1 year. So she's one of the long life with a broken leg.
Right.
After we brought her to the elephant hospital, the veterinarian tried to do so many things with her, try to help her, make the food splint for her, but after that it doesn't work. The foot splint was broke.
Yeah, you were saying that was the first cast made for
You're right.
an elephant, right? And I mean, thing looked huge and massive, but
Right.
her body weight is around 3,600 kilograms.
wow.
It makes sense that she's broke all of the foot splint, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It'd be really hard to reinforce with some type of cast. Seems
Right.
like you need like steel or something of that nature.
Right.
And I got one of the very kind of a good story during going to help one of the elephant in Pai. Pai is just a small city next to Chiang Mai, about 100 kilometers. The owner of the elephant park just phoned to the owner of my park, Mr. Keith. After he phoned, he asking for help. His elephant cannot drop the poop almost 2 days, and if you'll still keep it like that, not more than 1 day, elephant can die.
Wow.
And me and our team, we just went to that park directly. After we arrived at that place, we start to give her a medicine and inject a medicine for her, and we try to help her by
Right.
it out.
Getting it out of their hands,
Yeah.
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 I think
the
it's just
poop out.
very normal with other animals as well.
Yeah,
You're right,
farm
you're right.
animals,
Yeah.
You're right.
bigger creatures. And you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, the elephant that passed because of her leg.
Oh yeah,
problem.
yeah. Sorry.
What was her name,
I'm
by
just-
the way? I forgot her name.
Her name's Jeb.
Jeb?
Jeb.
She only 34 years old at
Okay.
that time.
So
And
young.
then she passed, and you guys actually buried her.
Yeah, we
at
just
the
brought
park.
her body back to the park,
Wow.
and we bury her. We are actually invite the monk came and pray for her every year, for a kind of remind ourselves that we lose her. We have to keep rescue and help the another poor elephant.
Right. So do you guys do that for all elephants? Or
oh, yeah.
just a special case?
Let's say that if the another elephant pass away from us at the park, we're gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
Do the same thing because in our culture, elephant is kind of the special animals.
Right.
If one of them pass away from you, it's just like one of the
Family members.
your family member. Yeah,
Can
you're
you imagine? I mean, they live as long as human being. I mean, I can't imagine the loss and
Devastating.
Yeah, I can totally understand. I think that is. I mean, we do that in Buddhism and Confucius as well. That your family member dies, you do ritual annually, right? So I don't think that's too much to do for elephants. Also, you said that the owner, when she got hurt, Jap, she wasn't able to financially afford the care,
Yeah.
so you guys bought her
Yep.
from him, and then
Yeah.
you said that that was about 10,000 baht.
Yeah. Or let's say that almost 1 million baht at that
1
time.
1 million baht.
1 million
Wow.
baht. The 10,000 baht is just the cost for transport her to the elephant hospital at that time. We have to rent a big crane and also rent a big truck. Took her to the elephant hospital. It costs around 10,000 baht. But the price that we are actually paid to the owner is around 1 million baht in Thai, which is almost 30,000 US dollar. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's super
Very
expensive
expensive.
at that time. But at that time, we didn't care about the money. We just want to help this elephant. But finally, we can't save her. But at least we just try our
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I think that speaks to, you know, how much Thai people care about elephants. But also, I mean, we're not advertising
Yeah.
Elephant Rescue Park, but I mean, that personally spoke to me that how much your rescue park really care about elephants, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it was not because of money that you guys bought her, right?
Let's say that almost 2 years that we don't have any tourists going to visit our park, and we have 8 elephants in our park. Each elephant eat about 10% from their body weight per day. It's around 200 to 300 kilogram. And they eat a lot. It means you also have to order the food for them per day.
Right.
Food and fruit, and also a medicine to keep a kind of a vitamin to keep them healthy. It costs a lot of the money. We still keep all of them in the park, even in the bad situation for us. The owner have to loan the money from the bank too, just for pay money for food, for medicine.
Yeah, you guys I remember you went and cut down sugarcane.
Yeah.
And I was curious, how much of the land there can you use for food crop and development to feed them as well? Or is that just supplementary type food?
Normally the food that we order for them every day, it just came from the local people who are living at that area. All of the food that we buy, we just buy from the local people. I kind of support the local people too. All of the local people are there. Most of the local people, not all of them, they're just a farmer.
Yeah.
And they're just most of them are just low income people.
Yeah.
We just try to support each other.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to be.
We,
It's a community, right?
You're right. That's why in the bad situation, when we don't have any tourists in the fruit season, we also got some donation from the local people too.
Wow.
A donation as a mango. We got some mango for free, and some of them just donate some more watermelon.
Wow.
And even the sugar cane on the grass. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge benefit for you guys
Yeah.
and for them as well. How many people are employed there? Because there's quite a few people there.
You're right. We have 8 elephants in our park, and we also have a 7 carer. Carer is mean the guy who look after the elephant.
Right.
And we are also even my boss. He also living in the park. It's totally around maybe 10 people at the park or help and look after elephant every day.
Okay.
Every day.
So, like your role specifically, you do a lot of the guiding. How involved are you with the care and the assistance as well? Is it pretty much wherever you can help? Is like everybody kind of just throws a helping hand where the need is, or is it very?
You mean how we can help those elephants?
Yeah. So for like your role, right? Like
Yep.
you give tours, but do you also help like feed and maintain?
Yeah. Normally, if I have a chain, normally in our park, we also have a land for growing the food for the elephant. If I have a chain, me and my team, we just grow some food for the elephant
Okay.
too. But that food, it's not enough for them.
Yeah.
We just grow to save our budget
Yeah.
in the pandemic time.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Have you ever had a scary experience with one of the elephants, or something where you're like, oh,
Scary experience it was happened with me one time. Let's say that elephants are quite scared of the small animals, any small animals. I just walk with one of the girl, her left eye she's blinded, and I just keep walking, follow on her back. follow on her back, and there was one of our dog just came with me. I didn't see her. Actually, we not allow our dog walk with us during we walk with the elephant. And that dog just run to chase something at the front of the elephant and make the elephant just get frightening, and the elephant start running after that. Which is I just stay on her back side. She almost step on me.
Oh.
But I just jump after that. Jump and I'm still here now.
That's what we're saying. I mean, I'm sure those elephants, recognize you guys, and they're not really aggressive to people.
Yeah.
But I think the danger really occurs unintentionally, right?
You're right.
Yeah. If they just step on your food, I mean, you're done, right?
You're right. She's a 4 ton now. She's a 4,000 kilogram. If she step on my feet, let's say that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You get in big trouble.
Right. I wanted to ask you, this is not the brightest part of elephant sanctuary tourism, but because the tourism has almost died the last 2 years, and I've heard that some sanctuaries are not so ethical. They abuse elephants and not so kind to elephants. What do you think they're doing? They're surviving. To survive during this time.
Let's say that in this case that I have seen before, some elephant park, they are not really belong. They don't have any elephant. When the pandemics come, they just turn those elephant back to the owner. They just rent the elephant from the owner. Mostly the elephant in Chiang Mai. Let's say that they just came from the kind of the hill tribe people on the top of the hill outside of the city, and these people are some rich people or some people who can do the marketing for the tour. They just open the elephant park and making open the kind of maybe something riding camp or elephant care or anything else. They just go and rent those elephants from the owner, pay for them maybe 15 or 10,000 baht per month, and open as their elephant park.
Wow.
Those people they are not belong that elephant. That's why the point is about the food or the way that they look after the elephant. They don't really care because those elephant is not belong to them. They care only about tourists, how many tourists they're gonna come to visit their park per day.
Wow. So I imagine though that there's probably no tourism as far as like Thai people. No Thai person would go to that type of tourist place, right?
You're right.
Okay, so it's incredibly shunned upon. So for anybody out there watching this, if you're riding an elephant or going somewhere, then that's not an elephant sanctuary in that regard. I imagine, right? That's unethical.
I think a lot of people by now know that. I think a lot of people try to avoid that kind of places.
You're right. I'm agree with that thing because I feel, let's say that 10 years ago in Thailand, our government used to make a big advertising about riding elephant in Thailand, but later on most of the tourists just realize about that problem. That thing is not a kind of a good thing for the elephant. But in this case, let me tell you something like this. Even in our park, we don't do a riding elephant, but our generation at the past time, we used to using elephant for transportation, right? But why do we say that riding elephant is bad? Let's say that first thing, it just came from the, like I told you, that some people just rent the elephant from the hill people, and come put the elephant at a riding camp, put a big basket on elephant's back, and use those elephant carry the people so long term per day. Carrying this group, drop and pick up the another group and go around, do the same thing for like 8 hours per day. This thing you could make elephant not really happy at all.
Too much.
They're too much. You're right. But normally, if we compare between elephant and horse, elephant much more stronger than horse. Elephant can carry the weight on the back like 20% from their body weight. It's around 400 to 800 kilogram.
Wow.
2 or 3 double stronger than horse. If you're riding them by the right way, you didn't use anything to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
You're riding them with love for half an hour, and you just look after them like a part of your family.
Yeah.
This thing, it doesn't hurt elephant at all.
Yeah.
But if you're still doing a riding elephant for the business, I can say that thing, it could abuse.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's too
Bad
much.
for the elephant,
And then
too much.
I can think of this way too, that like you don't have any relationship,
Yeah.
right? As a tourist, you're just forcing them to do it rather than if you have a relationship,
You're right.
like it's a necessity, right?
You're right.
Right. So I think there's a huge difference between them.
Yeah, and as any country develops, right, we have more technology that can substitute the need
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
animals and these things. And I think even in the U.S., a lot of things like they still have horse races. I think eventually they'll be
Yeah.
considered unethical and will move away, right? Just as technology progresses, there's no need for that. And-
I think. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
keep going.
no.
I think you're not done.
yeah, but just as
Too kind to
you
each
know,
other. But behind the camera.
oh
there,
yeah, nothing but
fist fight.
This is acting, very good acting. But yeah, I think ethically, as we get closer to having more technology, that we're going to start seeing that a lot of the ways we've treated animals are, again, ethics are only according to the time period, right? There was a time period where we needed to use these beasts, I use that not pejoratively, but as labor
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
build
you're right.
and to develop
You're right.
and things like that. And so, hundreds of years ago or whatever the time frame is, it was acceptable and understandable.
Yes.
But now in this day and age where we have so many different means,
Yeah.
it's harder to be understanding towards. And that's, that speaks to what you're saying. Thailand tourism 10 years ago,
Yeah.
they were even, showing like, oh yeah, come ride elephants
yeah.
and shifting out of that. And I
You're
think that's
right.
a wonderful
You're
thing.
And as I told you that the government used to make advertising for riding elephant about 10 or 20 years ago, but some riding camp they just do a riding elephant only for money. They don't really care about the quality of the food and even the healthy how healthy of the elephants are. Not healthy. The word healthy is not only about their body, even their mind. They're supposed to be happy and enjoy with those activity with you too. Not only you just keep forcing them or sitting on the top of them and forcing them to carry you the whole day like that.
Yeah.
And then I think I was going to ask you this. I only know about this because I've read it online, but there's this centuries-old tradition called the crush. I don't know if you know about that, but basically what it is that from when elephants are baby, they, I don't know exactly what's done. That's why I'm asking you. But
Please.
they do certain things to make them more submissive to human control. And the article says that this ritual is called a crush. And then a lot of elephants in this, unethical sanctuaries have gone through this form of the crush. So I was going to ask you if that's actually true.
Sorry, the word crush that you mean is just.
So like when elephant is baby,
Yeah.
they do certain things to make them more submissive to human control. Yeah.
You mean a kind of the training them or?
It could be training, or could it be just, I don't know exactly what's involved. That's why I'm asking. But, because the article really didn't elaborate the process. But
Or let's say that according my experience, let's say that my experience, okay, after the baby was born, turned to 2 or 3 years or 4 years old, the most important thing that you have to teach them how to stay with the human is a very important thing, because they are domesticated animals, like a dog at home. When they stay at home, what they have to do, what they should do with you, should stay in a kind of like a
guideline.
kind of a guideline. It's very important thing. Especially some baby elephant, when they were baby, they prefer to play with you or to
That's so awesome.
play with you, or with the way that they play, they're bigger.
Right.
They're very big and more powerful. They're gonna use their forehead to crush you, or sitting on the top of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It sounds good, but sometimes it could be dangerous for you too.
yeah.
They have a big body weight. Big
Yes.
body weight. Some baby elephant, when they turn to 2 or 3 years old, it could be like a 400 to 600 kilogram. That's so big. When they sit on the top of you, can break your maybe
Yeah.
bone
Hospital
or
right
something.
away.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So how do you play with a baby elephant then?
Actually, the most important thing we have to teach them when we play with them. Don't do like this. Don't do like that. It's same like you teach your baby. Don't break this thing. You have to play like this. Do like this. Do like that. Just learn with them. Teach them and let them learn with you every day.
Okay.
Let them used to with you
Yeah.
how to play with you. They're happy. I mean that they're really happy. Really enjoy the way that
man.
we teach them.
Yeah.
The way that you teach them, it doesn't mean everything you have to force them. You have to use something to hurt them.
Yeah.
You just teach them with love, like the kid at home.
So now, after you explain all this, I think it makes sense. Probably the crush is that you basically do the same thing, teach them, but also like in a bad way,
You're
in an
imploring
abusive
more.
way, whip them and things of that
You're right.
nature, punish them, rather than like you just said. That was really beautiful expression
Love.
that you teach them with love, right? And so, I mean, it applies exactly to the human world too, right? I mean, abusive parents do certain bad things to teach their kids. The same thing, like to make them more submissive to them, right?
Yeah.
So
And there's
okay,
typically
makes sense.
repercussions in the behavior down
Yes.
the road.
Right.
You were saying elephants can remember up to, I think it was 60 words you were saying?
Yeah. Let's say that according the information from the veterinarian, they say that the Asian elephant, let's say that Asian elephant can remember the human word, 60 to 100 words.
Wow.
They are very smart animals, especially when when I'm going to talk with them. If you talk with them word by word, like go, come, left or right, they could understand all of the word that you try to talk with them, but it's just depend on their mood, they want to do or not.
Yeah. If they're going to listen to you.
You're right. If you have some food, maybe they're gonna follow everything that you're talking to them.
Right. So sometimes they don't listen to you well, right?
Yeah.
So what would be more, not aggressive, but more forceful way to make them do things?
Let's say that in this case, we have to understand the personalities of the elephant. Elephant not listening to you is mean there must have some reason. Like some elephant, when I walk with them, I told them come. They just stop, keep doing something right there. They might still hungry, need some more food, want to eat, want to joy with that thing. You have to understand at that thing too. Elephant stop for a reason. Don't follow the thing that you told them for a reason. You have to understand that thing too. I mean that you have to understand the personalities of them. Is the most important thing.
Sure. Yeah, that was a wise answer to a foolish question.
No.
I got it made.
No, that's a very good question. I mean that you're not only the first guy who asking me about this question. I used to meet so many people who asking me something like this before.
So do you have a personal favorite there at the sanctuary?
Oh, of course, the one the one with the bad leg. She got injured on her front leg on the right side. Yeah, that girl, her name's Bunmar. I used to look after her. I mean that I'm stay at the park almost 2 months. I am counting. If you want to be one of the elephant carer, it's not easy. I mean, you have to wake up early in the morning and you have to provide some food for them. Early in the morning, you have to go chop some grass for them. If you at your farm, you still have some grass for them. You have to chop for them and come and drop it let them eat and take them exercise, walk on the top of the mountain, on the top of the hill, and let them eat by themselves. Let them eat a different kind of the fiber, different kind of the grass, and could make the elephant more happy, more healthy. And let's say that when the elephant eat a kind of a different taste of the food, they can eat more.
Okay. So the variety in diet for them is very important. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, there's so many similarities, right? We don't have a really good ability to communicate, but that's the thing about relationship. The more time you spend with any, elephant or animal, you develop that personal relationship so you can understand.
You're right.
Whereas, me, because I don't have that relationship, it wouldn't make any sense to me.
Like that girl, she is only the girl that I can touch her feet. I can go to stay under her body to do the treatment on her legs, do a pedicure and medicare for her, let's say that. We still have to do a pedicure for her because of she can't walk very long per day. Her nails when her nails are getting long, we have to do file her nails like a horse.
Yeah.
And then you said that elephant, I mean, probably a lot of people may know, but I didn't know when you told me that they sweat through their toenails.
I had no idea.
Did you know that?
Had no idea.
Let's say that is most of the elephant who are stay in the deep jungle or even the domestic, we don't do that kind of the activity for them. Why? They just walk by themselves and the nails just naturally cut by themselves. But only with this elephant, her front leg on the right side was swelling and something wrong with her ankle. That's why she can't walk with a long distance per day. And when her nails get longer, you just have to cut it for her. Otherwise, her nails can break and
how far do they walk per day typically?
Let's say that in their jungle, the one in the wild, they can walk almost 10 to 20 kilometers per day, only looking for food. Because one elephant are social animals. When they're walking to somewhere, they're gonna walk with their group. One herd, it could be 20, it could be 50, and each elephant have to eat at least 200 to 300 kilograms per day. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Only one mountain of the food is definitely not enough for them. They're gonna keep walking and eating, walking and eating. And the big boss of the herd, the matriarchs, will guide. The matriarchs is one of the very smart girl. The matriarchs of the elephant always girl, only girl that can look after the baby too, and can also have the skill. Like in Thailand, in the summertime, we are tropical countries. Mostly on the top of the hill, the land is really dry. There's no food for you on the top of the hill. Most of the matriarchs of the elephant gonna bring their herd or their family follow the river, the main river.
Makes sense. Water, right?
Yeah,
you need a lot of water.
The water and the tree, the grass close to the river is green.
So, dude, I mean, I imagine there's no natural predators, just considering their size. But what about things like snakes?
Snake, let's say that for most of the snake in Thailand, it could be dangerous for them, only a kind of a cobra or king cobra, I think.
Okay, so there's not really a lot they have to worry about.
Let's say the elephant have a very good nose. Before they step on something, they're gonna check the smell first. Check by the nose. The elephant can get a smell under the wind. If the wind came from the other mountain, can get a smell very long distance. Some of them almost 10 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why if elephant can get a smell of their predator or any dangerous animal, elephant just keep space.
Wow. Yeah, what a useful skill to have.
You're right.
So if you're hanging out with elephants, you probably don't have to worry about snakes.
You're right.
In the jungle. Right. Wow.
Every time that I walk with them, if I follow the elephant, I'm just feel very confident. I mean,
That's
Safe.
awesome.
yeah, very safe. You're right.
Yeah.
When I follow them with especially in the rainy season, all of the grass is very tall, and we can't see anything for the long distance. We just follow them, let the elephant break the grass, everything, follow the trail of the elephant, and then feel safe.
Not just snake, I can imagine, but anything.
You're right. Anything. You're
Yeah.
right. Maybe some tarantula or other animals. When the elephant got some smell, elephant just keep a space.
Wow.
I was gonna ask you. So, what was your name? Your favorite? Your favorite elephant?
Elephant, Bunmar.
Bumar. Okay, so does a Bumar show her how happy she is when she sees you? Sometimes.
Of course, of course. Every time we can see her, the first thing when you saw her happy, you can see from her ears and her tails. It's just like a dog, I think. Gonna keep swing the tails and keep flat the ears and keep walking. And when she eating, you can see from her eyes. If she feels safe, she almost close her eyes when she eating.
Aw.
She just eating with a smiling and close her eyes, chill the food.
Yeah, it's amazing. They really do smile, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even some of the pictures you took, I was like, wow, that's like a huge smile, like, you know, and especially, you know, I thought another cool thing about them that I wasn't aware, but you had mentioned that, you know, they kick the dirt up with their
Yeah.
what's the
Trunk.
word? Trunk, thank
Yeah.
you. Lots of words here.
Mhm.
You know, throw the dirt on them for sunscreen, essentially,
Yeah.
protection against
Yeah.
the sun. And it's amazing to see how smart these creatures have adapted to this environment and how effective they are, especially when I was asking about the snakes, so I was thinking, you know, they grab these high branches.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of like vipers and things like that typically
right.
in trees. So I was curious how they know, because they can just pill, you know. I mean, if they grabbed a snake, they just rip that thing in half, pretty much, is what it looked like to me. But it's very impressive.
Yeah, I actually, you know, we kind of lost the first part that we recorded, but maybe we can talk a little bit about you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how you started this.
With the rescue park, I'm actually have a chance to talk with the founder of this park. At the beginning, he just looking for the people who come and working for him as the tour guide. And after I went to his office and do the interview with him, and we just after we finish all of the interview, we just asking about our background, that where did you graduated, and I just told him that I'm graduated from the University of the Hmong. I was the Hmong before, and he just told me later that he just came from the Hmong too. He was in the high school at the temple, and we both of us we were the Hmong. We have the same kind of a background. We came from the poor families. Most of the Thai people who let's say that who are Buddhism and who have no money, their parent cannot support you. Your parent cannot support you going to the good school or good university. You just going to the temple. There is a free accommodation for you, for free school, free food, free resident for you. Everything's for free, but you just have to practice according the precept that they're in the Buddhism.
Yeah. I imagine, strong brotherhood.
You're
Anybody
right.
that's willing to sacrifice so much, and you know
You're right.
immediately so much about that person just based on the fact that they're willing to give up so much, you
You're
know.
right. Do you know one of the thing that when I was the novice monk, I can't do like a normal people. I can't drink a kind of the alcohol. After 12, I can't eat food anymore. I can only drink.
Wow.
After
so
12
fasting afternoon.
Morning, I can still eat. Until 11, I can still eat snack or just like normal food. But after 12, you can't eat food anymore.
Until you go to sleep?
Yeah. You can only drink a kind of a juice or maybe tea Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Let's say that in the Buddhism, or we most of the monk or the novice monk, we can live because of we got support from the Buddhist people, and every morning we just got a food from the Buddhist people. Early morning, can you see? Early in morning, if you're walking around in the main city, you will see the monk walking with the bowl, the big bowl, walking for the alms bowl, baking the food from the Buddhist people. We offer the food for them, and there is the only food that we get per day. We can make it per day.
I see.
If you still keep that food until at night, the food could be spoiled.
Okay.
And according the Buddhist, according the monk precept that you can't eat the food after. But some of the people told me that there is a kind of the instant noodle that they order for you. They offer for you.
Yeah.
That you can cook it at night though. That one is depend on the monk. The monk or the person who follow the teaching of the Buddhism. I mean that not every person that can do can follow 100%.
Right.
Some monk, if they get sick, they need some food to take a medicine.
Yeah,
They need
yeah.
to eat some food. Though.
Right,
Yeah.
special occasions.
It must be flexible.
Yeah.
Flexible is depend on the situation.
Okay, so but after 12, not eating,
Yep.
that's just general.
General, yeah.
Wow, it's
Our-
interesting. So it's almost like
yeah.
practicing fasting.
Every monk in Thailand, I mean that according the precept that if you want to be a monk, after 12 you can't eat anymore. You can only drink.
So eating window, like what time do you guys
Wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
When it depend on the temple, but the temple that I was in the city, in the Chiang Mai city before, I have to wake up at the 4 a.m. in the morning and
Very early.
sleep at around 9 p.m.
Wow.
And
long
then what
day.
time would be your first meal?
First meal, let's say that wake up at 4 a.m. we do a chanting and practice meditation. We will finish everything around 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 a.m. we will walking for alms bowl, walking outside, and the local people will offer the food for you. You come back to the temple. You arrive. Normally it's around 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Will be your first meal.
Around
Wow.
the 8 to 12. So your eating window is about 4 hours, based 4 or 5 hours. you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
It-
really short.
Yeah, it's interesting because both of us fast, so we typically don't have breakfast. I mean, we
right.
don't do it for religious
I see.
purposes, but there's a lot of good health benefits
Mm.
and more studies that
I
suggest that. So it's no surprise that you find a lot of
Yeah.
older monks that live into very long into their lives.
And also, I'm curious if that's the case only in Thailand,
Yeah.
Buddhism, because I mean, I don't know any monk in Korea in person, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Like, after 12 you can't eat.
Yeah.
'Cause- and then I haven't, also seen like kind of obese monks in Korea as well. Honestly, but I think you're right. I mean, here, like, I haven't seen any monk who is obese or overweight, or they're all skinny.
Let's say that
Or rather slim, I'm sorry.
Not really in this case.
Oh, really?
Especially city monk. City monk, they usually have a kind of a better food. Some of them might look
Right.
but most of the forest monk, they are mostly look skinny.
Okay.
Most of the forest monk, they actually eat only 1 meal per day. One meal.
Wow.
Only 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. We eat only once per day. In the morning, they might eat some kind of get some drink, like a kind of a coffee or something, and eat only 1 big meal
Wow.
at 11. And in the afternoon, maybe only drink a kind of a juice or a kind of a coffee or
Okay.
anything else.
And you were saying you're in the monkhood for 8 years.
Yes,
It's a long time.
8
It's a
years.
PhD of.
I was a monk for 8 years. I mean, during I was monk, I also doing my high school and my bachelor degree. I'm graduated humanities.
That's why your English is so good. You're saying.
Humanities English major. I was studying. My mom used to asking me that you're just going to the university for a humanities major. My mom asked me that, aren't you a human? Why
She
you
wasn't
study
happy.
again? She just want me to be a kind of the teacher or maybe something for. I mean, for the Thai people, especially low-income families, they really want their child going to be a teacher. If you become to the teacher for the government, after you're teaching for 60 years, after 60, you will get the retired pay. If you're outside like me, you won't get a retired pay. Or maybe the government give you only about 600 baht per month.
Oh wow.
But if you're working for the government as the teacher, as the soldier, as the policeman, until you turn to 60, you might get a retired pay, at least 20,000 baht per month.
So like
super
pension.
pension.
That's why,
Stability.
most of their parents in Thai gonna try to encourage their child going to be a teacher in the future, going to be a policeman or a soldier or something like that. And they just worry about your future.
Yeah.
So you have to major in certain thing to become a teacher, or
Yeah. Actually, you have to study at least 5 years in the university.
okay?
4 years studying in the university. Number 5th years for do the internship. A kind of going outside of the university
Okay.
to practicing how to teach their kid.
Wow.
And after then, you graduated, you have to do or going to do the examination for the government again. There will be examination maybe 2 times per year. If you can qualify, you have to do the interview again with the people who working for the government. If you get a qualifying again, then you can work at a government school.
Okay. And then
Sounds
once
like
you're
harder.
It
It's
does
very
sound
hard.
hard,
It's
yeah.
very hard. This year they just receive maybe they need only 5,000 people for the teacher, but the people who graduated by the teacher faculty, more than 100,000 people.
wow.
100,000 they need only 5,000.
Competitive, very competitive.
Very
In the
competitive.
U.S., I think it's relatively easier. You just have to go through. If you have a bachelor's degree, you just have to. Well, you have to take a test, I think, or get a certificate. But the process itself is, not as tough as it is, how it is here.
And in the US, I heard that if you're working for the military, only 20 years you can get a retired pay for whole life.
Yes.
But in Thailand, you have to work at least until you're 60 years old.
Wow.
At least otherwise you won't get paid for.
And then also, American military, they get paid. I mean, of course, this is all in comparison, but they get paid. How would you say, like, comparable to that of teachers, or
It depends
more?
on your rank, right? So
yeah.
there's varying ranks, and then
Yeah.
your retirement pay is going to be a percentage of your rank when you hit retirement.
Yeah.
So, but for most people, unless you're going to be an officer, which requires a degree, so you have
Yeah.
to go through schooling and all those other things,
Yeah.
you're going to be paid, comparable to teacher, and then your retirement's even going to be lower than that.
Right.
So,
But
again,
they
it varies.
Pay for schools.
They
and
do.
things
There's a
like
lot
that,
of
yeah.
incentives to join the military.
I see.
Again, you have to sacrifice a lot of specific things, but
I see.
in the U.S., the military is definitely, there's a lot of freedom. You can do a lot
Right.
and still be in. I mean, you can live off base. You can be married. You have a lot of freedom, a lot of ability.
Wow.
It's basically like a job almost, right?
It's just a job with a little more requirements.
Then if I was born as a U.S. citizens,
Better become a soldier.
yeah,
Maybe next life?
yeah, next life
Yeah.
maybe.
So, what is your overall future goal, if you have any?
Future, one of my dream. I just want to open one of the small hiking tour. I'm one of the men I really love to do a hiking and do a trekking.
We didn't know.
I'm actually mostly I love to do it in the winter and rainy season because on the top of the hill the temperature is perfect. In this season it's summer, no, not a good weather to do hiking at all. Almost 40-degree at the daytime. No, but normally in the rainy or winter I always do hiking when I got a day off, especially at the northern path and at the south path of Chiang Mai. There's so many hiking trail and they're
Right.
very beautiful. And in the future, one of the I don't know, well, I can open this hiking tour or not, but this is one of my plan.
Wow.
That if possible, I just want to open the hiking tour, the
That'd
small
be
hiking
awesome.
tour.
Yeah, I don't think that's that sort of tourism service doesn't exist currently, right?
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
small. We were saying your dream. You want to
Oh,
start
yeah,
a
your
trekking.
dream. Yeah, the
Yeah.
hiking.
If possible, if you come back next time, if you are lucky, we might do
You
the
might actually
hiking.
be doing it.
Yeah, hiking
Right.
That would
together.
be- yeah.
Yeah, and then looks like things, could be better very soon, right? I mean, I'm hearing a lot of things from my friends too that Korea may open up completely very soon, and then seems to be here from my own experience. I see more foreigners almost every day, and tourism seems to be reviving.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah, hopefully. Let's say that in Thailand, as I told you at the beginning, that most of the Thai people, their income just came from the tourists. Because especially for Chiang Mai people right here, the local market, the walking street, the main income is just came from the tourists.
right.
I want to say, yeah, thanks for the tip, by the way. We went to the night market a couple nights ago. Wow, so awesome. So fun. I mean, there's so many different booths, jewelry, silver, and then food. It was really nice to go because it was very well spread as well. Like we went to a couple markets in Bangkok, and don't get me wrong, awesome, but very tight, very close.
Oh, I see.
Kind of elbow
Too
to
much
elbow.
people.
Yeah, so it was nice to kind of have the slower pace, more laid back. People were playing music. It was very, very relaxing.
Is there anything that that you don't like about? I mean, you don't have to really answer.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
please.
just personally, I'm curious. But
Please.
like, is there anything that you wish that tourists don't do in Thailand?
Tourists don't do in Thailand.
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot of things.
Where do I start?
Let's say that. Wow. I used to see so many things. I mean, especially, let's say that. Okay. I'm growing up at a temple. When they went to the temple, just wear a kind of a polite uniform. Even they don't put any sign for you that you should wear the pants like this, or don't wear the kind of a bikini or something to the temple. But if you're going to the temple, a kind of it's a kind of the special place for the Thai people, and just wearing the uniform. For the man is fine, I think, but especially girl,
I see.
because
Yeah.
for the monk is quite sensitive for the Thai people. We are just we can't touch the girl, and we cannot doing a kind of we just keep at voice from a kind of a
Yeah,
sexual.
so thoughts as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, you're
all
right,
those
you're right.
things.
Be respectful
You're right.
at
Yeah.
temples, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah.
Not to say that, right? I mean, this is not to say that women need to do something special that
You're right,
other
you're
men
right.
don't do,
You're
right?
right,
just
but
you're
yeah,
right.
Be aware of your situation.
You're right.
right?
You're right.
right.
Try
What about
to-
situations like in subway or bus where monk is sitting at the corner, right?
Let's say that more, especially the bus in the Bangkok, they are usually already provide their special seat for the monk. But
saw that
Yeah,
one.
but
Yeah.
we've seen a girl.
the girl, right?
Yeah.
They
Who
might,
just sit
she
next
might
to him.
don't know that thing. Normally, as I told you before, if the girl really have to sit next to the monk, that's depend on the consideration. Some girl may be pregnant. That could be okay,
Especially
or maybe the old lady
Mm.
cannot standing. That could be okay. It's fine, but just in case with a strong girl, with a short skirt
Yeah.
or something, you can sit by
Yeah.
the monk. That one it looks not.
So generally, that's not the best thing to do as a woman.
You're right.
Sits right next to monks, right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
That makes total sense. Do you have any opinion? I don't know. It frustrates me what I've seen lately. We go out and there's a lot of foreigners that just don't wear their mask, and I just don't understand.
Let's say that for the Thai people, before at the first round or second round, if you didn't wear the mask and you go outside from home, you will get fined by the policeman. That's why maybe Thai people just get used to with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, even they didn't put any helmet, but they're still wearing the mask. When you're
Yeah,
riding
actually, we
scooter-
see that a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
saying that.
Even me, sometimes I do the same thing. I'm still wearing the mask without the helmet.
Yeah. I understand that.
Right.
That's why I don't know. For the Thai people, they might scare of the COVID more than the accident, and especially in the main road in Thailand. The road in Thailand, we are one of the the most accident per day. Yeah. According to record in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
But Thai people don't really care about that thing. They
Yeah, we
care
were-
more about the COVID.
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing when we were driving, especially in Bangkok. You know, you're like, you got like that much space. You know, almost no space. and
you're right,
everybody's
you're
like- it's like, wow.
Right. But I think that's about it today, right?
So I think we'll go get some lunch. Is there? Wait, what kind of food do you like? We were curious.
Any?
Any?
Just
that's a good
no shrimp. I'm allergic. The rest of that any.
Okay.
I'm good with
Wow, no shrimp. Allergic to shrimp?
Yeah.
Rough. To be in one of the best places for it and to be allergic, but
Okay.
a lot
Thank
of
you
good other
so
food.
much for coming out today.
Yes, thank you so
um,
much.
I just want to thank both of you so much too. It's a very good opportunity for me to improve my English. English is not my first language. It almost my third language. I was born in Mae Son province. My mother tongue's language is not a Thai language. Thai language is just like my second language, and English is like my third language.
Wow.
When I have a chance to speak with a native speaker, I feel really lucky. I mean, I feel really lucky.
Yeah, and
to
you have
kind
great
of-
English too. I
Yeah,
mean, really.
Thank both of
Yeah.
you so much.
But do you want to talk about the donation part?
Yeah, so if you want to mention the sanctuary's name, but all the, half the proceeds for anybody, one-time pledges on Patreon or whatever you want to do, we want to give, those proceeds to help fund and keep the sanctuary going, especially right now with the limited amount of tourism and the COVID situation. Again, it's changing, but anything that can help, we would love to give back to you and your company and your team, because it seems it's family oriented, family operated, and people that genuinely care. I mean, watch the interview and you'll obviously see that.
Right. And the place's name, for this sake, is Elephant Rescue Park Office.
Yeah, they're on Instagram. I believe you guys are on TripAdvisor as well. So we'll provide all that information, the description, YouTube link, all that stuff will be provided.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Oh my God.
Thanks for joining us this week. We hope you found some value in this episode.
Please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Theory of Living.
Subscribe, leave us feedback, and share us with your friends.
Get out there and design a theory that calls you to experience.
We'll see you next week. Thanks.